Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Nerd Chronicles here. This is your host, Christian Paul speaking. What you're about to see in this episode contains graphic content, whether it's like graphic visuals or graphic language or both. Even though I personally won't be saying these things for professional reasons, to actually try to prove a point professionally and as respect of professionalism, there will be clips in there that may be obscene to some viewers involved. Like some may find appalling, like some of the way that people speak when those clips are shown. Some of them may be found appalling. This is why I'm trying to give you like a heads up literally ahead of time. There will be a clean version of this where those clips will not be shown, or if they are shown, like the words would probably more will definitely be edited out. All right, just please take note of that. Viewer discretion is advised.
Chief, mate, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
The Pinky and the Brain, yes, Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. They're laboratory mice, their genes have been spiced. They're Pinky and the Brain, 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 brain. Before each night is done, their plan will be unfurled by the dawning of the sun. They'll take over the world. They're Pinky and the Brain, yes, Pinky and the Brain. Their twilight campaign is easy to explain. To prove their mousy worth, they'll overthrow the earth. They're Pinky and the Brain, 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 brain.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Nerd Chronicles. This is your host right here, Proud Lane, Certified Beta Male Simba and Jana, whatever the heck it is. Christian Paul is up in the house once again. Now, I just got myself fresh out of a networking event, just had a little bit of fun. Now I gotta get some stress off my chest, if you will. And what we have here, I want to actually give another example of respect is currency. And we find out, Pinky and the Brain has struck again, right? And for those of you who don't even know what I'm talking about, we're talking about FreshandFit, Myron Gaines, and Fresh Prince CEO, right? Fresh being Pinky, Myron being the Brain. Now it's a twisted story with this little Frank Castle thing that they got going on. Now they got their little mini-me up in here, SNEAKO, up in the house because his self-claimed red pill aware, even though the young gentleman's literally 23 years old, very strong following by them, right? A very strong following. Give him credit for all the stuff that he built in through his YouTube literally over the years, based on his beginnings, actually starting up his streaming up in the basement. You know what I mean? Started streaming up in the basement. You know what I mean? Getting all the fans while playing video games. And he let it elevate his content to asking random people literally on New York City subways, asking him some very, very controversial questions that literally spiked his popularity. You know what I mean? And for more information on who SNEAKO is and how he got to fame, I will be posting it before they were famous on SNEAKO, see who he is, so that you'll be able to actually understand who he is much further. You can go to Michael McFadden's channel to actually dig more detail into that. I digress. Now, in this case here, we will be digging into another notable kick out here where Myron basically kicks out 3 women for, alleged, according to him, is alleged disrespect and arguments and all that stuff. So we are going to get to that right about now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, right? We have this clip here of another example of what not to do when dealing with rebellious folks, that actually are a little bit combative when dealing with a debate on how to handle things like a bit properly and how to properly communicate with certain folks when things literally go awry unless they become belittling disrespectful and become disrespectful to the extreme, right? So what we see here, according to the title that FreshandFit has actually posted up, Pinky and the Brain, based on their claims, you got 3 women that are basically exposed lying, and they basically get kicked out right in front of a whole audience, basically in front of the whole world to see, so that they could get embarrassed on social media, right? So I'm not trying to pedestalize anyone in that matter in that regard. But again, as I did in the last video that I've explained, this could have done much better. This should have been done way more professionally, so that all parties can still have their respect, dignity, and integrity still maintained, right? So let's try to dig into the why that this whole ordeal has been happening in the first place. Let's check it out. See what we got here.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Hey, ladies, stop the cap. Stop the cap. Why are you capping on the live stream?
Cap about what?
Now, based on what SNEAKO was explaining, SNEAKO was actually crying that, the women are lying on some things that they're basically actually discussing on the show. The young SNEAKO here who claimed he's red pill wearer, but yet he got a long way in life to go whenever he actually deals with life experience. He's literally coming by. I don't know if he actually went to college or not. I have no idea. But clearly this is just like a fresh out college age dude. Assuming he went to college, we don't know. But he's really, really young. And he's a bit naive in some way. A little bit emotionally immature. Right? So let's continue with the whole video.
Who do you mean, bro? Who do you mean?
The super chat, they're like, oh, we weren't supposed to go out tonight. You know what's up.
Which one?
What am I? Akila.
They know it's one. You can say hi. You don't need to be quiet the whole live stream.
Now look at the body language of this young woman here. Look at the body language of this one right next to her with her arms crossed. One woman acts a little bit stoic. The other woman that came by, I'm assuming that she's with those three. This young woman here, the woman that's wearing the black dress, as well as this far woman that's sitting right next to Bandman Kevin right there. Those are the women that got kicked out of FreshandFit literally live. Those three right there. And you're going to see it in a bit. I'm not going to go through all these whole clips from the 32. I'm just going to skip it in pieces by pieces so you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. So.
Not boring this whole time. Say something funny.
It's all love. Who are you talking about?
Sick of who?
You can say, bro. Oh, there's three of them in there.
Oh shit. One of
Do
my.
you hear the silence chat? Do you hear the cap, bro? No accountability. It's okay. Nobody's gonna make fun of you. We can still go out, but just accept that you're kind of boring. You're boring.
Okay, so the chat
Question is how so?
knows, right? So you can let people know on panel 2 as well. Go ahead.
Let him go.
No, go ahead.
He can go.
What I missed.
He can go. He can go. He can go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Obviously, the woman, based on their reactions, they're feeling extremely uncomfortable throughout the whole ordeal.
There's no question. I don't know.
Is it you?
Yes, it's me.
You just said wow. That's crazy.
Stop the cap.
What was the deal?
Bruh.
And the whole show, yo.
Holy
whispering,
shit.
laughing at the show, making fun of the show. SNEAKO exposed them, bro.
Because no, okay, because listen, we didn't even want to come on the fucking show. SNEAKO called us today, told us that we should come on the show, said that it's gonna be fun, said that he's gonna say that, told him to be nice to us, and we didn't even want to come on, SNEAKO. So the fact that you're over here calling us boring and we didn't even want to do this, it's
super true.
You know what's funny? This is the most fun you've been the whole show. You've been quiet as shit, leaning back, whispering, boring.
I did not want to do this. This was not my idea. You told me this was gonna be fun. You told me I was gonna have a good time, and
Don't make it fun.
Now, here's the problem that I have with this whole ordeal. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, I have to try to pardon on what I have to say here, because this one is going to be a bit deep. And no, I'm not going to be talking about the whole relationship situation and all that other stuff with what they do and all that other stuff. It's really their business. But if SNEAKO, this young gentleman here, right? This young gentleman wanted to actually get 3 girls to come on to this podcast, and they've done some digging. Right, they've literally done some digging, and they initially never want to come on, but yet, homie Lily and Tyson Lily come on. The question is, why don't you go with those 2 young ladies and have Pinky and the Brand over here? Okay, come by and give an extra spot with those 3 ladies to come by to actually show them and have homeboy over here lead by example, so that you'll be able to show them a good time, if you know what I mean, so that they'll be able to be more comfortable up in that environment, rather than just like have these 3 girls up there and literally try to feed them up to the wolves with Naevi and not even knowing what to say when it comes to these 3 guys and them getting exposed and getting riled up. Because what you're gonna see, and I'm not gonna have literally watch the whole thing with what led to the whole Frank Castle all the way minute by minute. I'll let you guys watch the whole thing. What you're going to see in the minutes to come, right, is mainly Myron and Fresh literally trying to rile these girls up any way they can subtly and find any way they can to literally try to get them up out of there just for extra clout and just to get another viral moment for themselves. You know what I mean? And it's an unfortunate shame. Let's continue.
And say something. Make it fun.
What was supposed to say?
Something.
You want me to say?
Say
We
something.
wanted you to come.
We okay, and I can have I can. Do you want me to? I can get my phone. I have the messages of us saying that we're not going to go on the show today. We
did, and you're boring. That's all I'm saying. And now you're lying.
But no, she never really wanted to come in the first place. And the main reason why these main girls lies up in the public and they're trying to actually keep a civil conversation, because they don't want to really ruin the vibe of the whole show. They're actually trying to do it out of behest of SNEAKO and see what's really going on. And they were actually trying to keep their cool. No, that's the main reason why they actually came on reluctantly. And they came by with reluctance. They're actually trying to play along, say, hey, we enjoy this stuff, but we know about the body language. They just don't really feel comfortable. They don't have the respect of the room. They don't even have the respect of Myron and Fresh. The guests are sort of okay, but Myron and Fresh, from what we've been seeing through all these podcasts and shows, in many cases, they don't command the respect of the whole room, which is really unfortunate.
The whole time.
Literally, that's why she didn't want to. That's why she didn't want to take the picture. We did not want to come on this show. We watched this for the first time today. We saw little clips. We thought, oh, maybe that would be cool.
No,
Yeah, hold on. Even besides all that, why you had to lie though? Why you couldn't just say it wasn't
Because you hurt
chilling?
my feelings.
And note, these 2 young women are literally a bit emotionally immature as well. They're literally college age students. Okay, they're actually currently in college right now. They're very, very young, in the early 20s. I believe the black one up here is literally 19 years old. So please take note. I'm going to explain it in a little bit.
But you didn't have to lie to. Ain't nobody here that's.
It's because we're not.
That obviously hurt my feelings, so obviously I was gonna act butthurt because I am butthurt.
You didn't ask about her. You just lied. You literally just said no. It's not us. You know, I don't know him. We weren't supposed to chill.
Because we don't know people.
Why do you want me to take accountability for that? That's so fucking embarrassing. That is so fucking embarrassing.
It's mutual because if he wants to if he's okay with him letting everyone know what the plan is. Then,
I just don't think that was needed either.
But how much more stupid is it now, getting caught than just saying to keep it 100?
I mean, it's funny now. We're talking
now
about
it's like 10 times worse. You should.
Now, to be honest, I will give credit to some of the guests who early agreed. They actually should have been stubborn. Those 3 women should have been stubborn and SNEAKO say, nah, we don't feel comfortable. And at that point, SNEAKO should have literally moved on from there and actually just gone some other woman and literally join with him. You don't really need those 3 to have them be on your show. And this is the naivety that SNEAKO was actually dealing with right there. Naivety is showing in SNEAKO, right?
Should have said we were supposed to chill. You could have done him. You could have said we were supposed to chill, but now we not.
Oh, we not.
You see?
he said he was down still, but.
So you still
I
down?
just think that is so embarrassing for I just did not think you had to do that to me, honestly, and I did not.
Well, you ain't had to lie.
What?
Why you had to lie?
Why did I have to tell the truth?
So the matter of fact is, you didn't want to come on the show. SNEAKO said, pull up to the show.
SNEAKO said it would be fun. SNEAKO, we were scared to come to the show. We see the show,
scared of
right? Getting fucking blasted, getting roasted.
And SNEAKO should have been with them when they were actually came to the show. He should have came with them in person and trying to make them feel more comfortable. That's what he should have did.
The thing is, though, how do we know she's not lying about not wanting to be on the show?
We can have messages. We can share messages. They want to give me my phone.
She wasn't telling the truth.
In what way did you feel like you was finna get blasted?
I didn't feel because I don't think we could have come on this show and said everything right.
Yeah, but you came in here not knowing what the fuck was going on.
No, she knew what the fuck was going on. She did not know what I really was.
That's the point of the whole show. They bring the girls on. Myron and Fresh, mainly have their recruiters up there, and they haven't bring the girls on through like certain locations and certain deals to try and get their brands up and try to get their followers up. Not really fully understand that it's really them too. You know, Pinky and the Brain up at the Fresh and Fit podcast. Because if they know that the majority of women actually notice who they are and they doing like actual blatant direct casting calls on the Fresh and Fit podcast and they do all that research and basically what they do, I promise you, I put my money due to the fact the majority of the women that actually watch the show actually see what they do. Majority of them will not even bother coming on that podcast whatsoever.
They forced me to come. Like I really
forced her to come.
Oh, you involved too. It's 3 of y'all.
Yes, it's 3 of us.
Yo, but you know what's crazy? If you would have just kept it 100, you don't have to come here and see. You're not going to be wrong. It's only opinions right now. Whatever you say is you.
Okay, but we're getting
we're just not trying to put all our business out there.
I didn't know you was in on it though, because you said
now. What Myron and Fresh should have did, or at least one of the partners should have did, or Chris should have done. Okay, when you see this type of uncomfortability up in the room, when you see a lot of tension literally pile up throughout like all these women and they feel uncomfortable, all one of them have to do is literally pull all 3 of them to the side and pull them away for a bit and take them to a private room, take them to Myron's bedroom for a bit, or even take them outside in the hallway, okay? And try to talk with them to see if they're fully okay and to see if they're really good to go. Or is there any other issues that, you want to actually try to discuss here that you feel a little bit uncomfortable with? Anything that you want to try and discuss? Whatever, anything that's on your mind, and like why you may not feel comfortable, may not want to come on. Would you like to try to leave and any stuff? Or if you choose to leave early, you're welcome to do that. And we'll welcome to let you on another time based on another topic if you choose to do so. Chris could have done that. Myron could have done that. Even Fresh could have done that. Fresh could actually pull those 3 girls. That would have been his opportunity to say, "Hi, ladies. Do you mind if you actually pull up to the side? Can you actually come with me for a bit? You guys are in trouble. You're not doing anything wrong. All right, just come with me. We'll discuss some things and ask them the question, see if they're okay, if everything's all right. Checking them to see if they're thoroughly comfortable. And then if the body language is a bit off, and the body language doesn't correlate with the words that they say, hey, I think it's best if we try to leave. You guys aren't really in trouble. I know you're not really feeling the whole vibe or anything like that. But we'll definitely invite you on to another show if you choose to do so. If you decide to do so on a different topic, you're welcome to do so if you want to, and given the open invitation to do so. That would be the best route to go. Now let's continue.
It's crazy. Isn't y'all too? Y'all
she lost her phone, vape, and personality before the shit started. Like, she ain't been on nothing.
She did not want to.
Myron is saying they're doing nothing. Look at Lily pulled those 3 women up on the side.
We didn't know
outside in the hallway.
I did not.
I
can tell. I had no.
You see when we were outside, she didn't want to take a shot. She didn't want to take a shot. We did that. You know what I'm saying? And we're not. I'm not gonna say we're uncomfortable, but we're not. It's just like you guys don't make us uncomfortable, but this is not our cup of tea. Our cup of tea. This is not something that we prefer to do.
Women empowering.
This is not.
Which is why SNEAKO should have came with him, and he should have led the way, and he should have led by example by bringing those 3 women with him, so that they'll be feeling more comfortable and they'll be more adjusted with that environment. That's SNEAKO's fault, by the way.
Yeah, but then why come and then make the vibe uncomfortable? Y'all didn't want to take a shot.
We didn't want to come.
I mean, I think it's we don't have to take a shot. It's like we're 19. It's different. We're 19.
Ding, ding, ding. 19 years old. There we go. And I'm gonna really discuss the whole thing up in the end. The whole thing might be in the end of this clip.
I mean, we don't have to take a shot. We're not supposed to take a shot.
Okay,
especially not in the video.
If y'all didn't want to come, that's killing the vibe for everybody else that's actually
taking a shot. Who's getting in trouble for what?
Because we're 19, they're getting mad that we didn't want to take a video taking a shot. They can get in trouble for us.
We didn't know that y'all was 19.
No, they know. We told all 3 of them who asked us. They knew.
Now I can understand why. Y'all literally taking a shot with literally 30-year-olds really running the show, and they're literally underage. I can understand why.
Technically, they're legal, so don't be looking at us crazy. They're legal.
We're legal. We're just not able to drink.
All right, so I have receipts that she wants to go for a show from Eric.
Wait, what do we? Okay, so first and foremost, I don't think anybody on our team told y'all to drink. That's number one.
if one of the other girls
They
here,
suggested, but we let them
if
know.
one of the other girls,
I didn't want to. They weren't forceful about it.
but our people aren't gonna. If we know that you're 19, we're not gonna tell y'all to drink. That's number one. I'm gonna make that very clear right now. Nobody here on our team is gonna tell you to drink.
3 people asked us.
Because this ain't
girl over there gave us
my
attitude
usual
for not
shit
wanting to
neither.
drink.
Because I mean, I be doing shit on prison content, on gangster shit. But then the second I came in here, you was welcoming. I got offered a drink from a female, and everybody's just been chilling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's 19-year-olds. We wouldn't offer them drinks
like,
if they're 19.
Yeah.
But where are you gonna? What's okay? Because this is new to me. Like, why do we even have girls here that don't want to be here? Number one.
Yeah, well, apparently August 11th, from shout out to Eric, he had screenshots of her wanting to come onto our show.
Nah.
So,
not me. We did want to come on the show, and then we watched the show.
Okay, let's try to dig into the situation here. So we have Eva DeVardi and says, I'll get to the Miami on the part of the show. Let me see if I can find a way to zoom in here. Sets for nerds, the whole 9 yards. Okay, so let me go pause this real quick. I'm actually going to take a screenshot of this guy here. All right. Get this screenshot, which we already have there. And let's go pause this real quick, and then we'll just read the text and see what we get out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's try to scroll up here and see what we can get. So this is Eva saying, Miami, I'll get you on the show. And this is basically one of the crew from FreshandFit actually explaining what's going on. Eva basically says, my messages won't go in the request bar since we already have messages together, but I'll still follow you, haha. And are there any requirements I need to know before getting on the show? And the day later they said, okay, perfect. I would, of course, bring a friend, but would there be any ways he could join the podcast as well? And the rep says, yes, as long as we coordinated together. I could tell both of you guys are on the panel at the same time. And they respond, okay, that would be lovely. I would be visiting Miami again with her friend here, so that would be great if she could be part of it as well. Homeboy says, perfect. I'll add her to the list. I'll just need her to confirm, so please have her follow me and message me. Right? So basically you got one girl that she wants to join, and there's another one that they're actually bringing. Those are the 3 women that are currently on this podcast right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually coming into the brink of the kick out here with those 3 young women that actually been saying. So what they're actually discussing on certain opinions based on the stuff that's shown versus the statistical data that actually for Myron and Fresh are actually dishing out, that they are actually claiming to cook. But even if you have the statistical data that's at hand, when having data literally presented to you to anyone that's when dealing with a debate, whether it's a man or a woman, let me try to make this clear. Always ask for when did the study take place, number 1, okay? And number 2, how many people have partaken in that study? How many people to partaken in that statistical survey? What's the sample size, right? Always keep that in mind whenever, the statistics have been presented and, factual evidence presented based on like mathematical proofs and examples, whether it's graphs, studies, you name it. Always make sure that always make sure to ask for the sample size as well as when did the study take place, just to make sure that the study is literally fully validated, right? Because, i.e., for example, right, say you have X% of this do this type of trend versus the other guy here, and it takes place in, i.e., 2020, 2019, right? There's a little bit of a gray area, like right between 2019, 2020 to now. And they're trying to actually compare the study that's actually shown within those years to literally now, but yet that little gray area is literally still unknown. And also note, of that percentage, how many people have partaken in that survey. Those are the questions that you need to ask when asking these hosts, whenever they present these type of statistics. Always ask, what's the sample size for 1? And 2, when did the study take place? So that they make sure they have all their studies and resources literally jam-packed. And take note of this. This is something that you need to know. This is literally game for someone who has studied engineering and mathematics for a very, very long time. Now, let's get to the kick out.
College grad myself. I'm like, what the hell is that?
What did you graduate from college for?
I went to Northeastern University in Boston.
What was your major?
Better school than you, probably, more than likely.
Oh, USC's
irrelevant. Okay, and I'm gonna stop right there. Just because you came by in like a high prestigious school and all that stuff, based on the major that you done, and yes, you may be doing very well within the school that you're in, and you may be graduating summa cum laude within that system that you end up in a different school. That doesn't really mean that you're really smarter and more experienced than the next man. Okay? Because everybody got different qualities. Every school system is literally different. Every university system is literally different based on the quality they have, based on the education they have. You know, you could be getting like a fucking pardon my language. You could be getting like a freaking 3.8 GPA coming by up in Northeastern. Doesn't really equate to having like a 3.8 GPA up at Princeton or MIT, right? Or even one of those advanced schools. Even UCLA doesn't even equate to getting a 3.8 GPA at UCLA or even a 3-point GPA at the University of Delaware. It is not congruent. It is not fully linear, okay? Just like you claim you're smarter than 96% of the population basically mastering your craft, that doesn't really guarantee you smarter than 96% of the population doing like a lot of overall things, right? Because when you get up in that real world, anything goes. And the world is fastly evolving, quickly evolving, and rapidly than you ever know. At a like faster than you think you know, right? So humble yourself. Always be open to learn. Always be like willing to learn, and actually just make sure that they always understand there's going to always be a person that's way smarter than you based on what they do and based on what the craft they know. And it's best to listen and communicate thoroughly, while they literally respect you at the same time, and you actually try to find ways to communicate with other people that have different fields and different backgrounds than you effectively. Okay? Effectively. Now let's continue.
Yeah.
Better.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Well, that's a damn embarrassment because you still can't even acknowledge the difference between a fact and an opinion.
Now, with these women, what I will say to them, always ask these guys about when did the study take place? And number two, how big is the sample size? How many people partake in that survey? That's something that you really need to deal with. That's something that you really need to ask these guys when they have those facts presented to you, just to make sure they actually know well on the service that they're actually presenting.
Everyone has their own opinions. Like it's an opinion.
Empirical statistical data versus personal experience.
Here's a fact. Women overwhelmingly want a man that's a provider in a relationship. That is a fact. 95%. Okay? It's still a fact. Okay, but women overwhelmingly means majority.
But that 5% is still a fact.
Even if it was 51%, he would be right.
Yo, you can't make an argument for.
No, I totally understand. I'm just saying.
No, you don't.
No, but we're just bringing up the other perspective.
You're fucking wrong. You three are
wrong. There we go. Personal biases. You know, every person is different. I mean, based on their styles and needs. I'm not going to try and discuss all the relationship stuff, whatever it may be. I'm not going to discuss that here. I refuse to discuss it here because everyone has their own different tastes, and that's their right if they choose to do so. All right?
Wrong. Just take the L. You're wrong. This is ridiculous. We got 3 19-year-olds that go to college that don't understand the difference between exceptions don't make the rules, statistically insignificant, etc. You guys look fucking stupid in front of.
And the messed up part about it is they're still young, naive, and emotionally immature. They're way too young to fully understand the whole dynamic with the whole relationship situation when it comes to the real world. They're not really fully ready for that game yet. They're not even fully at their right, mature age to actually deal with something like this as of yet. And that's the issue I have with FreshandFit. And I'm going to discuss that much more deeply.
Almost 15,000 people. This is ridiculous. This is why our college education system is failing you guys.
But we're not saying
it's not that we don't empower women. We empower the truth. And unfortunately, feminism has lied to you guys to say the stupid shit that you're saying right now. Sometimes you got to call people stupid.
And when they say feminism, I understand the code word like what FreshandFit is saying, what Myron is saying. When they say feminism, they mean modern feminism. Okay, not all the way the old school feminism. They mean modern. All right? Just take note of that.
Stupid. God. And right now, you guys are fucking stupid. No offense.
Holy shit.
I just got to call it what it is. I'm ashamed that you guys are in college right now. It's ridiculous.
We never said you're wrong. We just wanted to bring up the fact that there is that 5%.
It doesn't matter. It's statistically insignificant. I've said that.
Okay. Well,
So if I'm not wrong, by default, you're wrong.
it's not a wrong or right. It's just
That's
Again, FreshandFit literally trying to push their narrative. You know, they're using what Myron and Fresh are doing, mainly Myron. They use those statistics necessarily try to push narratives on women that they have. And yes, there are anomalies to like literally every part of the whole equation. And, you know, that's fine. You know, if they want to try and choose to be the anomaly, that's them. If they choose not to, that's fine as well. You can't try to force feed people that aren't really comfortable on like what they want to do, right? If they want to literally try to take the other way, just let them be, right? You use the statistics to present them. But the best way to handle like some debates and like handle those things, when handling stuff like this, is best to really try to answer questions on their personal experience, just to verify the data that's up in front of you.
It's what the.
it's the perspective.
It's
like,
perspective. This is all perspective.
It's personal because what if there is that
The truth
5%?
is the truth.
I'm not saying I'm that 5%. I'm not saying I'm that 5%.
Here's the thing. Listen, ladies. If you take one thing away from this podcast, the truth is objective. There's no such thing as your truth.
Yes.
The truth is objective. Your appreciation of the truth, however, is subjective. Right now, you guys feel a certain type of way.
Sides.
There is no both sides. Okay. There's a wrong side and a right side. If you appreciate the wrong side, quite frankly, well, then you're stupid. You got to operate in reality.
But do you think it should be like that? Like, do you think it should keep
I don't
being
operate
like
on
that?
what should, could, or would. I operate on what is.
But don't you like think that
Our
the world
feelings
is evolving
aside.
in like a different way at least? Like I agree, like it started like that and it's like mostly like that, but it's evolving into something different. People like most
Then you
women
would agree
now,
with it?
they want to be independent. And even though they might also want someone to provide for them, that doesn't mean that they also don't want to be independent. Like they don't want to depend on someone else for money.
Cool. But most women still want a provider, even if they make more money.
Okay.
Where you can surf without getting fit.
Pardon the ass, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies.
There's no place like Chrome.
Hey, if you've been trying to make money with Amazon FBA for a while now, I want you to stop what you're doing because there honestly is a better...
You're missing the point. She can make $100,000 a year. She's gonna want somebody that makes about 58% more than she does.
Yeah. Okay.
And once again, he didn't say every woman is the higher percentage. So you could you one of the percentages, you one of the 5%. So you're not wrong, but the fact is the majority.
But don't say she's wrong. If
She's not wrong.
There we go. They're not wrong at all, and that's where mine screwed the whole thing up, right? They're not trying to actually contest the data. They actually appreciate the data. They actually acknowledge that there's a minority as well. But Myron, in his case, he just doesn't really want to hear it. They're saying that they're in denial. They're not really in denial, but they're saying, oh, like the other minority is a bit irrelevant. It's not really fully irrelevant because that's actually part of the whole data set that you have. That's where in the whole sample size here.
I just said she's not.
Oh no, I'll say it. She's wrong because she's arguing for a minority.
That's her opinion.
Is significant.
Okay, let her.
But what's wrong with me arguing from?
See, this is why you guys don't
truth?
like this because there is no such thing as my truth. That's an asinine concept. There's just one truth. There is no such thing as my truth. The truth is objective.
There's multiple sides to every single story.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but there's one
And
truth
this
though.
is a story. Everybody's just talking about from what
Multiple sides to every story that actually is truthful based on the evidence that's presented.
they've been through.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing.
It's personal.
No
If you-
offense.
if
No
you
offense.
heard this-
But what you've been through
It's different from what you've
in your
been
19
through.
years of life more than likely doesn't reflect reality.
Okay. Okay. So, but then
Because
how are
you
you gonna
came
sit
from
here and
hold
call
on,
me?
hold
how
on.
are
You
gonna
came
say-
from a coddled background where
Yes.
your mom took care of you,
Yes.
etc.
And there's nothing
By
wrong
your
with
own
that.
word.
Myron doesn't know what her parents go through and that young woman and vice versa, right? You have no idea what they're dealing with. None.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But
That's not
hold
something
on.
that-
But that's going to limit your ability to experience life from a different perspective.
And
that
so, am
may
I
have
in the
not
wrong
been-
for coming on
Yo,
this
let me
podcast?
finish my
Okay,
point.
sorry.
Yeah, they never really. You tell by the body language within those two women and the other three that they never really wanted to be here.
All right, I'm not your mom. Don't talk back to me. Let me finish my point.
Don't
And then you
ever
can go
talk
ahead.
about my mom on this podcast.
Yo, you're on my platform.
And notice, Myron's actually discussing stuff about the parents when in the background. That's why she reacted the way that she did, right? Because when Myron was actually talking about the parents, oh, you probably had like a college background, your parents called you and all that stuff. That's actually wrong to go about because, again, Myron doesn't know that woman's parents and the woman doesn't really fully know Myron's family like that. So that's the issue that they have. You're actually importing, you're basically like impeding like personal stuff within that individual They're trying to fuel your narrative, and that's a huge issue. You have to keep business and personal separate. You cannot try to integrate between the two because you don't know these guys. You don't know women. You don't know these guests from literally apples to oranges. You don't know the family backgrounds that these guys have, and vice versa. So keep that stuff out of it.
Platform. If you don't want to be here, get the fuck out.
Okay.
Get the fuck out of here. Yo, don't throw my shit. Don't throw my shit.
Never command a respect from the beginning. Never command a respect from the beginning.
Do not throw my shit. This is not the environment for you to do that shit.
She has her perspective.
The fuck out of here, man.
We need Andrew Tate back, man.
You wanna go?
This is why, because this is ridiculous. Hey, y'all can leave too. Y'all don't want to be here. Y'all get the fuck out of here. No, you good. You don't want to be here in the first place. You can get out of here too.
No, it was like a question that doesn't have to do with this. It's fine.
We're done talking, bro. You never want to be here in the first place. I don't know why y'all even showed up. To be honest, if I had known that you guys didn't want to be here from the rip, I would have been told y'all to leave. I didn't know any of this stuff.
Cause we was politely cramped over here and shit. Like we could have had.
I don't even know why y'all are even. I don't even know why the fuck they let you guys in here. Like if I had known, I would have not even let you guys on. Go ahead.
I can ask my question.
No, you can't. Just get to walking.
What you got going on? Come on, let's go.
Icy's gonna give you all your stuff, bro.
This is what they best known for.
What the fuck?
I don't even know why. Whatever, man. Ridiculous. Clown world shit. Here, I'll readjust the studio.
I said, make sure she said, y'all ain't get y'all money. I had to answer real quick. Like, who? He ain't talking me, shorty.
Awkward.
Shit.
She got mad.
Damn, I thought this episode was not going to be one of the kickoff ones.
I was low-key hoping that just to see. I didn't think it was going to be 3 of them.
Look, I felt it. I'm like, man, they getting a little crazy.
When she was on the balcony,
all right. You know, done watching. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. I have a few things that I want to discuss when it comes to how Pinky and the Brain basically run their business. Alright, and what they need to do to literally try to improve. Actually, I actually got more than 3. But at least it's a start, right? Because we know Pinky and the Brain over here, FreshandFit, they're approaching the mill. Don't be surprised if they end up approaching the 1 million subscribers come 2023. Possibly earlier, the way that things are actually going for them. You know, assuming they're not canceled, we don't know if they are. I'm not even going to worry about all the cancel culture and everything. I don't think, me personally, I don't think they should be canceled outside, even though I don't agree with a lot of stuff that they say, right? But I do have some suggestions for them if they want to try and go and improve their business in order to actually vet this up properly. And I want to give, once again, a huge shout out to Ayende Gordon, because Homeboy was the one that actually originated the whole concept on why FreshandFit really came to be today. And ever since Myron fired Ayende, you notice the quality of women that actually have been going on. It has literally dropped. They've actually expanded the age limit to literally over 18. While Ayende was literally running the show, and he has his own team literally casting girls up on the set. You know, the minimum age for literally girls to actually get up on the show is literally 25 and up. And ever since, you know, Ayende left, they've been casting women literally from all ranks, literally starting from 18 and up. And we noticed literally like a 19-year-old woman that literally attempted to meet to Myron, which is literally scary in itself, because a lot of the college women up in a lot of the women up in college, literally like around 19, 22 years old, are literally mainly emotionally immature. They're too naive on like how the world really fully works, because they literally just got themselves out of high school. Okay, excuse me. Literally got themselves out of high school, and they still trying to figure out like about how their own body works, and how really the world really works, and how the world works. You know what I'm saying? I can understand in some cases relationship stuff. I'm not even going to discuss the relationship part of it. I'm going to try to avoid it. But you see the emotional immaturity that's there when it comes to these young women. They have like literally a lot to figure out. Their life is literally just beginning. Their life has literally just started. Okay, they're still trying to learn their own bodies. They're still trying to seek guidance from their moms and their aunts and all that stuff, how to navigate the world. You know what I'm saying? You literally invite them on, literally trying to drill certain facts and everything, and literally trying to call them stupid just because they're signing a minority that actually is a part of the data set, right? And it's part of that sample size as well. You know what I mean? I know they put an emphasis on the majority, which I understand, but the minority also plays a big role in how it acts, and also when the study took place, as well as how big the sample size partook in the study. Those are all big factors right there, coming from a mathematician and a statistician. Okay. So I would suggest to the Fresh and Fit crew, raise the minimum age limit to literally 25 and up. Get women that are literally more emotionally mature. Get women that are literally of a higher decorum. Get women, I know some of the women they have are like very well minded and educated, but make sure you please get women that aren't going to act the fool. Have women that are a bit way more civil, and please don't escalate the whole situation and try to generate another kick out just for viral views, and try to have like a very civil, respectable discussion and a respectable, discreet debate with higher decorum and professionalism, so that more folks will even respect you more. Right? That's basically the first step that I would literally try to put it. That's literally number one. Number two, Myron and Fresh must have the final say of which girls are going to come on the show. Myron, Fresh, and Chris, right? They need to have a hand to say like what girls potentially may need to come on and all this stuff. And they need to do a thorough private vetting and try to do like either a Zoom or a Vimeo call, either a Zoom call, Teams call, Google Meet call, however it may be, right? Or even like a WhatsApp call to try and discuss, hey, like what's your mood like, and give them like the thorough rundown on basically what it's all about, and give them some information like what they're about to discuss literally on that day, right? If they're not really for it, if they still aren't really interested in actually going on the show, the host can actually just like let them be and literally just bar them up, and that'll save you the whole trouble. That'll save you from all the crazy Frank Castling that y'all doing. You know what I mean? The kickouts that y'all literally doing, that'll save you a whole lot of hurt and a whole lot of trouble, and you'll be able to actually vet the right women properly, right? But with the naivety with women, not even having that much experience with women, and literally trying to worry too much about not actually trying to dig into they're deep into certain personalities. Women actually trying to go for like a low type that's not even like of higher stature. It's hard for them to see it. You know what I mean? And the third, with SNEAKO, right? If SNEAKO is actually recommending the woman to come on and all that stuff, he should also be involved, and he should actually be coming by in support. He's actually trying to make the women feel like they're in a much more comfortable environment. Another issue that I have with them, they need to literally move their location from where they're at into a more corporate setting. It can still be high rise, but it has to be into a corporate building. The debate has to be literally the podcast literally needs to be up in an office building, so that it can be, number one, more professional. Number two, you make sure, and in addition to that, you also need to actually finance your own security as well. Since you're making all this money, you need to try and make sure you actually finance your own security guards and your own bodyguards to make sure no one literally gets hurt, everyone gets screened and all that stuff, so you don't have to worry about a hotel security guard literally covering your behinds all day. Okay? Get yourself out of that residential area. You know what I mean? Get yourself in the commercial area. Make sure you have security up all the way planned when these podcasts are literally done for your protection as well as the guest protection as well, so that no one gets hurt. Okay? Because what they are currently doing at this rate, right? My fear is, God forbid, you don't know who these women know whenever they get kicked out like that, right? Whenever they get kicked out like that, you don't know what type of woman you're dealing with. You don't know what trauma she may be feeling once you see yourself getting embarrassed by a kick-out situation up in like the YouTube streets, up in the social media. And they may be dealing, she may have someone in the family with like extreme screws loose. They may be a former felon that's not afraid to actually get down and really be with the streets and really be about it, if you know what I mean, and catch a couple bodies. You know what I'm saying? This is like the situation that tragedy happened with P&B Rock. God rest his soul. You know, my fear with mainly those three of them, Myron, Fresh, and Chris, God forbid they could end up in that same fate if they do not watch their toes very carefully. Because based on what the looks I'm seeing, I know one is a bit arrogant, trying to run the whole show, making it feel like it's his, and it's a bit awkward. Another is really extremely awkward and studying to the T. I have the same sort of problem at times, same while actually getting the words to say. He's way more naive than Myron, and Chris is, the main yes man. Myron got all of his yes men around him, and that's why I actually liken Fresh and Fit to Pinky and the Brain, due to the fact that Myron is the brain, right? But again, in closing, this is another classic example of what not to do when dealing with debates like this and how to handle them much better. In order to avoid a kicker like this, whenever women don't even feel comfortable that way, all you gotta do is leave them aside and let the other guy talk and continue on the conversation smoothly, and actually try to diagnose what's going on in the situation. And if they're still not comfortable, just try to let them out politely, let them out privately, and not let them get embarrassed in that manner, and give them a chance to invite them back if they choose to do so. And when those facts are presented, and I already know, and I could tell by like some the naive women that are literally there, right? They're actually trying to explain everything thoroughly, right? Call them super ain't really gonna cut. That's not even gonna change their minds. They really need Fresh and Fit. Need to do a much better job at commanding respect from that whole room. Not just the dudes that are least standing there as guests. The entire room. You know what I'm saying? And I'm literally gonna leave it at that. So, with that being said, Christian Paul's about to hit the sack. I may actually come up with some anchor podcasts if I do have enough time, because I really do have a lot on my plate. But you never know. We'll figure something out. Maybe I'll come up with some good graphs, or maybe come with some good studies so it could be extremely interesting. But I gotta try and come to the lab and try and make something work and actually give some of y'all that's gonna be a little bit nutty, right? So with that being said, Chris and Paul from the Nerd Chronicles signing out. Deuces, deuces, deuces.